Good morning. Today we are going to read Trouble with Trolls by Jan Brett. We have read some other Jan Brett books before, and we know that sometimes she gives us small peekaboo windows in the illustrations. And sometimes there's a second story going on in those peekaboo windows that we can use to help us make predictions. We know that sometimes she uses pretty strong patterns in our books, things that happen again and again and again throughout the book. Sometimes we can make connections to other books. I know that we read another book by Jan Brett that had a troll in it. Do you remember which book that was? In that book, the troll was the main character. In this book, it's a young girl who's our main character. Her name is Treva. Let's read and find out what her trouble is with the trolls and how she solves it. Jan Brett, Trouble with Trolls. My name is Treva, and I have had trouble with trolls. It all happened one day in early spring when I decided to visit my cousin who lives on the other side of Mount Baldy. It takes all morning to climb up the mountain, but then I fly down the other side on my skis. My dog Toofy and I walked up the path until we reached a place where the last of the old trees stood, and that's where the trouble with trolls began. I don't see any peekaboo windows on the sides here, but I do see, right here, at the very bottom of the book, a little bit that's going on. It might be a good idea to look there as well when we're studying the illustrations in this book. As we walked through the trees, something scuttled by. Toofy ran after it. I heard a yelp, and there was Toofy caught tight in the arms of a troll. I was certain that's what it was, with his long, furry tail, big ears, and one gold earring. The troll squealed and growled, "I want dog." What do we know about this troll? We know he still has his tail. Now, according to the other book that we read, their tails fall off when they do kind things for others. But if they're too wild, their tails stay on. What do we know about this troll? He's wild. Let's find out more. Do you think Treva wants to give up her dog, Toofy? Oh, of course not. That's a big problem. Wonder what her solution will be. The troll waggled his ears back and forth at me. Then I had an idea. Maybe I could trick this greedy troll. Go ahead, take the dog. I've got my beautiful mittens. And I reached up and warmed my ears as if I couldn't do without my mittens. The troll's eyes darted back and forth from Toofy to my mittens, but it was too much. He had to have them. He dropped Toofy, grabbed my mittens, and ran off. I was so pleased thinking about the troll that I didn't notice that Toofy was missing again until I came face to face with a second troll. This one was rocking with glee, his long nose buried in Toofy's warm fur. "I got dog," he boasted. So he's bragging. I shrugged. "Oh, you can have the dog," I said. "Just don't take my favorite pom-pom hat." I fluffed it up and dusted my nose with it. The troll's eyes lit up. He snatched the hat and scurried away as fast as he could go. Are you seeing a pattern in this book? What is it? What's happening again and again? A troll shows up, wants the dog, Toofy, and Treva has to trick him. How is she tricking him? It's happened twice. Let's see if it happens again and becomes a nice strong pattern. What a morning! I had lived on Mount Baldy all my life, and I had never heard of anyone seeing a troll. It was time to take steps. "Toofy," I ordered, "from now on, you follow me." What I didn't know was that a third troll was sneaking up behind us. I heard a noise. Whoop! This troll had grabbed Toofy by the tail and was pointing to a big iron pot. "Pull! Pull!" she cried. I slipped off my sweater when she wasn't looking. "Phew!" I said. "That leaves my special puller." I put a rock down the neck of my sweater, and I pulled it by the arms to show how it worked. Trolls are dim, but this one was smart enough to see that my sweater was just the thing to drag her pot. She scampered away with it, and Toofy and I listened to the bong, bong, bong of the pot bouncing down the mountain. So did it happen again? It did. What do you see in the illustration that tells us that this pattern could continue? More trolls. What is the problem in this book? The trolls want to take her dog. What's her solution so far? Yes, she's trying to trick them by giving them her clothes instead, all of her extra warm things to keep warm. She makes them think that they need it and want it, and that she doesn't even care about the dog. Is that true? No, she cares about Toofy. Do you see how her solution could have a problem in it, though? If it keeps happening, what is going to happen to poor Treva? Let's find out. Now we could see the top of Mount Baldy. What a relief! What we didn't know is that we were walking towards double trouble. As Toofy and I squeezed between two boulders, these are big rocks, twin trolls jumped out. "Ha ha!" they bellowed together and pounced on Toofy. This time I was ready. I saw their pointy little heads and knew just what to do. Off came my boots. I dangled them in the air. Imagine wanting a dog and ignoring these. Instantly, the twin trolls dropped Toofy and leapt for my boots. As they disappeared into the distance, I looked down at Toofy. The top of the mountain was close. "I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to carry you the rest of the way." Each step was harder. I held Toofy tightly and we kept going. When we reached the top, all 5 trolls were waiting. "We want dog!" they bellowed and ran toward us. In the scuffle, they got Toofy away from me. I closed my eyes to keep back the tears. Then I knew what to do. I reached around and unbuckled my skis. Now I know in Florida we don't have snow or mountains, but skis are like skinny little sleds that you can put on the bottom of each foot, and when you're up on top of a mountain that's full of snow, you can use them to slide down the mountain. So she reached around and unbuckled her skis. Then she held them up to the sun so that it would sparkle on their shiny paint. I shook them so the trolls could hear their tiny bells. I waved them through the air, making a swoosh, swoosh sound. Finally, I whispered as if it were a big secret, "I can fly with these." What is she trying to do? Is she trying to trick them again? That seems to be her go-to solution. Let's read and find out. "Fly!" the trolls roared. "How fly?" I picked up my ski poles. I blew on my hands to warm them. I'll need my mittens to show you. The troll with the big ears threw my mittens over. Oh, good, 'cause she looks cold. She was going to run out of clothes. That would have been a big problem. Is she going to trick them into getting her stuff back too? Let's find out. I can't fly unless I can see, I said reluctantly. I'll need my hat to keep the wind from blowing my hair in my eyes. The troll with the long nose tossed me my pom-pom hat. Look, I said, shivering in the wind. Flying is easy, but I can't do it without my sweater, and that's final. The other trolls stared at the troll with my sweater. She hesitated, but then gave it to me. I put it on and positioned my skis on the snow. But even the trolls could see that my feet wouldn't fit into the bindings. I really need those boots, I said reassuringly to the twins. Now I had everything back, my mittens, my hat, my sweater, my boots. I stood at the top of Mount Baldy, ready to go. I held a piece of yarn high in the air to test the wind for flying. It was too much for those greedy trolls. Fly, 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 they clamored. I need you to push me. Can't push, they cried. Hold dog. Okay, I said, sighing. I'll hold the dog. The trolls gave me one giant push. Fly, 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 they shouted at me. And as we flew down the mountain, I could hear the trolls' cries change to wails of dog, dog, dog. And as I looked back, all I could see was a pile of trolls shoving and pushing each other furiously around in the snow, arms flying, heads bumping. Toofy and I made it safely down the mountain, and the trolls have never been seen again. But if you travel over the top of Mount Baldy in early spring, you can see the white cotton grass waving wildly in the wind. It's all that's left from the day that I had trouble with trolls. Kind of looks like their wild hair and their upset little eyes. What was the problem in the book? Those trolls wanted her dog, and she had to keep tricking them. How could we describe Treva? Well, she's very brave. Remember, she tried not to cry, and she thought of a plan instead. She is brave and smart. Thank you for reading this book with me today.